Sue Bird says fans were racist toward WNBA players before Caitlin Clark. She's being used as a pawn. Clark recently said fans spewing racism against her opponents has been a real disservice to the people in our league, the organization, and the WNBA. Melissa Tamez/Icon Sports Wire via Getty. Sue Bird and Caitlin Clark. Sue Bird is calling out the racism permeating through the WNBA fandom and defending Caitlin Clark amid ongoing discussions about fans slinging racist remarks towards the league's black players. Clark, 22, has been at the center of discussions about racism in women's basketball since her college days, when her on-court rivalry with Angel Reese began making headlines late in the 2023 NCAA tournament, and some fans on social media began hurling racist remarks towards Reese. The issue has carried over into the WNBA, both as Clark and Reese's basketball rivalry continued throughout their rookie season, and as Clark has shared physical play with other WNBA players on the court, most recently during a game when Dejounte Carrington poked Clark in the eye, and Clark later elbowed Carrington in the head. After the Connecticut Sun eliminated Clark and the Indiana Fever from the WNBA playoffs, Sun forward Alyssa Thomas and head coach Stephanie White slammed fans for sending racist messages toward their team on social media. "It's been a lot of nonsense," Thomas told reporters after the series earlier this week. "I think that in my 11-year career, I never experienced the racial comments like from the Indiana Fever fan base." But on the most recent episode of Bird's A Touch More podcast with her fiancé and former U.S. women's national soccer team star Megan Rapinoe, the four-time WNBA champion says she believes racism has existed within the WNBA's fan base long before Clark entered the league earlier this year. "Racism has been impacting the WNBA well before this year," Bird tells Rapinoe. "This is not a new thing. In that way, I think Caitlin is being used as a pawn. Caitlin didn't bring racism to the WNBA. This has been happening. And that, I think, has been a shock for all of us. That other people are surprised by this. We've been trying to tell you." Juan Ocampo/NBA via Getty. Caitlin Clark and Sue Bird. Like Thomas, WNBA players have been calling out racist and misogynistic vitriol more as the season has continued. Never miss a story. Sign up for People's free daily newsletter to stay up to date on the best of what People has to offer, from celebrity news to compelling human interest stories. Last week, Reese drew a line and said messages being sent to players that include anything beyond criticism about playing the game we love is wrong. Related WNBA players slam commissioner for not condemning fan racism in interview about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. WNBA make three major changes in wake of Caitlin Clark's success. From a business standpoint, the WNBA has just wrapped up its most successful season in league history, largely due to the arrival of star newcomers Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But some changes are on the way. League Commissioner Kathy Engelbert is steering the WNBA towards converting this popularity into increased revenue. The league recently brokered a new $2.2 billion, $200 million per year media rights agreement with Disney, Amazon, and NBC. At a press conference on Thursday evening, the commissioner also unveiled three scheduling alterations that will be implemented as early as 2025. Caitlin Clark Rookie of the Year, when causes controversy, as almost unanimous votes sparks jealousy claims. Caitlin Clark fans fire back at WNBA playoff accusations. It has now been over 2 weeks since Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever saw their brief WNBA playoff run come to an end. This was after the Fever fell to the Connecticut Sun in their first-round series, 2-0, thereby putting an end to what was an undeniably incredible rookie campaign from Clark. Now that the former Iowa superstar is no longer in the picture, it comes as no surprise that viewership numbers for the playoffs have gone down. After all, no less than 2.5 million viewers tuned in to catch Clark's last game of the season on September 25th, as Indiana suffered an 87-81 Game 2 defeat against the Sun. According to reports, Game 1 of the finals between the Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty drew in 1.1 million viewers. While this still represents a sharp decline from the Fever's last game, the fact of the matter is that this was the most-watched WNBA finals in history. This development, which has, unsurprisingly, taken social media by storm, has prompted Caitlin Clark fans to react as they fired back on the accusation that fans only tune in to watch Clark and the Fever. While there is, of course, some truth to this matter, Clark fans were quick to point out that the Rookie of the Year's impact on the league is still felt despite her team's early postseason exit. "I thought people weren't going to watch anymore because Clark isn't playing," asked a supporter. Caitlin Clark was on XLV Aces coach's radar. Valkyries' Natalie Nakase heaps praise on WNBA star. "With Caitlin Clark, you find yourself watching the league as well." That's the sentiment from Stephen A. Smith, one of Clark's most ardent supporters, who emphasized just how vital her presence is for viewership. It's undeniable that the rookie sensation has not only captivated fans but also filled arenas to capacity. Adding to the chorus of admiration is Natalie Nakase, the newly appointed head coach of the Golden State Valkyries, who shared her thoughts on what sets Clark apart and revealed an intriguing story that suggests the former Iowa sensation was likely on her radar during scouting. Friday night, Nakase hosted a reception at the Chase Center, the home court she will share with the Golden State Warriors for the Valkyries games. While there, she stepped into the commentary box during a game between the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. During the broadcast, the commentators couldn't help but discuss the WNBA and the immense impact Caitlin Clark is making in her rookie season. They even drew comparisons between her and NBA superstar Stephen Curry. Although Nakase chose not to weigh in on the Curry comparison, she did take a moment to express her admiration for the Indiana Fever's standout player, number 22. Natalie Nakase shared her firsthand experience of watching Caitlin Clark in action during her college days, saying, "I went to go see her, and we were scouting. So I went to see a game in Iowa live, and she is amazing. Like she's warming up deep threes. You know, I don't know if you've seen her live, but you actually have to see her live." Given Clark's remarkable performance in leading Iowa to back-to-back finals and breaking Stephen Curry's college scoring record, it's no wonder she caught Nakase's eye. Taylor Swift fans extend support to Caitlin Clark after rival Angel Reese interviews Travis Kelce's ex-GF. Los Angeles, California. Caitlin Clark, the Iowa Hawkeyes basketball star, has found herself in the spotlight once again, but this time for reasons outside the court. WNBA make 3 major changes in wake of Caitlin Clark's success. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelber announced 3 major scheduling changes that will go into effect as soon as 2025, following the success of the 2024 season. From a business standpoint, the WNBA has just wrapped up its most successful season in league history, largely due to the arrival of star newcomers Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But some changes are on the way.